This conference will now be recorded.
There it goes. Okay. Okay. So thank you to those of you who are here this morning for our Library Insights information session. And we are, as you can see, we're recording this and we'll share it with a few others who can't attend this morning. But we just wanted to have a little bit of time to discuss what we're doing and answer any questions you might have. And I know Brittany will probably say this as well, but this is a brand new project for us. And so we are kind of learning as we go. And so we want to take questions, your questions may be things that we have to go figure out after this because we really are new at this. So anyway, but I want to thank you for being here, and I'm going to let Brittany talk. She is our editor, one of our two editors, and we also have James Frank here, who is one of our designers. So, and I'm just kind of in the background with Nephilim doing what I can to help. So I'm going to let Brittany talk and introduce our Library Insights project.
All right. Good morning, everyone. And so, just to kind of reiterate what Jenny was saying, this is a brand new project for all of us. I think we're doing a good job, not to toot my own horn, with just figuring out the logistics. But I think part of this information session, at least for me, is for you all to ask questions, and you may point out things that we haven't considered. We're all of us are pretty close to the project, so we're looking forward to you interacting with us, and questions, comments, all of that are encouraged throughout. I do have some slides to just kind of help James and Jenny and I stay on track and give you the information that we want to give you. But if you have questions, feel free to pop them in the chat or unmute. Between the three of us, I think we'll find it eventually and we'll be able to answer it. But don't be shy. Don't feel like you're interrupting. This session is for you. So I'll go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Brittany Fisher, and I'm a librarian at the Palatka campus of St. John's River State College. And I'm an academic person in an academic library, but my academic library is a state college, so I don't do research here. But I am very interested in writing and contributing to the literature in my field. And there aren't a lot of opportunities to do that for us if you're not doing research. So this project is very special to me because I'm hoping that it will open the doors for people like me in the field of librarianship who want to share ideas and start conversations, and just in a different way. And I see Lauren jumped in. She is my co-editor, so I will let James do an introduction, and then Lauren.
Hey, I'm James. I'm one of the co-designers for the Nephilim Insights Journal. I work currently at a state college as well. I work at FSCJ in Jacksonville. I'm currently a library assistant right now. I'm hoping to, once I finish my digital media bachelor's, go into working as a librarian, getting my master's in library science. To me personally, what kind of stuck out most about the Library Insights is I have a digital media background for the majority of my career has been digital media related, but I've also worked in libraries. So I love anything that lets me get to use my design knowledge and my library knowledge together. I work in an academic environment, so I love getting to share like research and journals. I'm a little bit of a nerd about reading research articles and journals, so super exciting. I'm happy to meet everybody.
Hi, I'm Lauren. I'm the other co-editor. I was having technical difficulties this morning. I currently am the marketing and communications coordinator at the St. Johns County Public Library System. I have a background in English and am currently studying public relations at the University of Florida for my master's. I have a lot of editing background and kind of a nerd level interest in editorial stuff. So I was just really drawn to this project because one of the things I love about libraries and like working in this field is sharing information and how willing and nice everyone is to should just be to share their insights. So I think that I'm really excited to see where this project goes. I think it could be really helpful for uh, us in this industry.
Okay, and we do have one other team member. Her name is Victoria Slaughter, and she actually works here at St. John's River State College with me. She's a librarian at the St. Augustine campus, and she's one of our designers, and she has a lot of background in that. And she couldn't be with us this morning because she's actually at Silly. So she's repping for Nephilim just in a different capacity. And I also want to say Jenny really downplayed her role in this project. She's been instrumental in, helping us, see it through and just like the technology pieces and stuff. So Jenny, we're going to call Jenny our project manager, boss, because she keeps us on the straight and narrow. So don't let her fool you. She's impactful. All right, so now we're going to talk about the slides. So transforming libraries through collaborative knowledge sharing is kind of the bread and butter of what this publication, Library Insights, is about. So we'll kind of walk through these slides. These are the slides that we shared at the Nephilim annual meeting, in case you weren't there. But the journal or the newsletter, however you want to look at it, is dedicated to furthering Nephilim's mission by serving as a platform for sharing innovative ideas, best practices, and research among libraries. Our publication aims to empower libraries to transfer their communities by providing resources and insights that promote excellence in library services. By fostering a sense of community and collaboration, we strive to support Nephilim's vision of creating vibrant and inclusive library environments that meet the diverse needs of all users. So that's a big chunk of words. I think what I personally want you to get out of that is this is idea sharing, this is knowledge sharing. This is not just for people who are doing research. We want practitioners involved. We want people who are on the front lines serving patrons to tell us what's going on there. So you'll hear me say it a million times, but this journal is for everyone, and everyone has something to contribute. So you've met the editorial board. There's a picture of Victoria in case you were wondering what she looks like since she wasn't here to join us. But you can contact any one of us and Jenny with questions. If you hear what we say today and nothing really comes up, but later on you have questions, you can reach out to any of us. And we also have an editorial email that I'll share at the end. So at any point, we encourage anyone, if you have an article idea, if you want to talk something through, feel free to reach out to us. We're more than happy to help you out. All right, and so in addition to the editorial board, we also have several peer reviewers that will become instrumental once we get to that part of the project. Lauren, do you want to say a few things about the peer review process?
So I'm still finalizing the guidelines, but the peer review process is going to be really instrumental in making sure our articles are original and relevant. It's going to make sure they meet, a high standard and really positively represent the library field. I think actually one of our peer reviewers is in here. Mike? Yeah. Hi. So we'll be meeting soon with the peer reviewers to kind of go over the process and do a little Q&A, work out the guidelines. But I think it's going to be really good. Sorry.
No, that's perfect. So if you haven't picked up on it, Lauren's kind of taking the reign with the peer reviewers. because it's still, this is a kind of a large undertaking, and we're all doing this in conjunction with our full-time jobs. So if you feel like you're not hearing from us enough or whatever, we apologize. We're just trying to, make this work. But Lauren is going to be reaching out to the peer reviewers soon to schedule a meeting with us so that, we can share kind of what we're thinking as far as guidelines. We also want the peer reviewer feedback because you guys volunteered for that position. So I'm sure you have opinions and ideas, and we definitely want to take those into consideration. So be watching for more information from Lauren as we finalize, those guidelines and schedule a meeting. We know it's like the worst time of year to schedule meetings, but here we are just holding on till the end. So anyway, thank you so much for volunteering to be a peer reviewer. For those of you on this list, we look forward to working with you on that. So again, submissions are encouraged from any and all library staff. We definitely hope that any administrators, library directors, deans that watch this information session will encourage their staff to write things up and have them published in the newsletter. It's a great way for people who are starting out in a career, aspiring to librarianship, to kind of get their name out there, practice their writing and their publishing. It's also just a good way for those of us who are practitioners who've been in the field for a long time to share insights, thoughts, ideas, get conversations started. We're definitely looking to promote other Nephlin projects as part of this journal. So things we're talking about at the annual meeting, things we're talking about and learning about at the technology conference, things in the management training program, silly. So if you're involved in any of those things, those could all be potential ideas for articles. We're looking at doing 3 issues per year just because that's manageable for our volunteer staff, so to speak. So I think that'll give us enough of a range to kind of get things out there to you all without creating more gray hair for me. So, and we have to consider Nephlin staff as well. So look for 3 issues per year. Victoria and James did the beautiful cover. So we're also accepting submissions for images to include on our cover because I thought that would be another great way for all of our members to contribute. If you're not a writer, you don't enjoy writing, maybe you don't think you have anything to say, you may have something to say through an image. So we are looking for image submissions. James, do you want to speak at all on images or the cover as the designer here today?
Yeah. So far as like images we're looking for, just like especially if you're a photographer, even if you're not, just like even camera photos work really well. Just some high resolution images, something within that format that we can use. Anything that would be library related, like if I know at our library here, we have photographers that come in and they take pictures of staff and they take pictures of the spaces. Anything like that would be awesome. But even if you're an amateur photographer, I would say submit it and we can look over it and see what we like or don't like about it.
I agree. And also just because something may not make it on, like, let's say you submit it this go round, if it doesn't make it on the cover, it may be within the journal or it may be used in the future. So if you submit something, don't feel discouraged if you don't see it right away. We're hoping to build kind of a repository of things that we can use as the journal grows. So definitely if you're an image person, start submitting those. We're excited to see a variety of image content. So the first call for submissions has already come out. So if you haven't seen it, I'm sure it'll be included in future Nephlin newsletters and things like that. But I just wanted to let you know that we are now accepting articles, so please get them to us. And then this is the last slide. This is our Library Insights email through Nephlin. So if you email this, Jenny will see it and she'll forward it on to the editorial board so that we can make sure to contact you. So if you have questions about the call or anything like that, definitely jot this down. and we'll be happy to correspond with you that way. And those are all of my slides. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I was going to hop on the Nephilim website to show you kind of where the submission is. And I'll also show you the call.
I did put a link to the call in the chat as well. That's from an email that went out that's a little bit out of date because it's got an old date for this meeting, but you can still see the submission guidelines and where to submit, the dates, all of that on there.
Okay, so this is what the call looks like. This is what Jenny added. I see that there's a question about word max and minimum, and so those types of details are things that we have chosen to avoid at this time because we're just kind of interested to see what people bring to the table, and we don't want to squash anyone's creativity or imagination with what I think are not really important rules about word count. Don't tell like my bosses that I teach grad level writing, but I'm not a fan of word counts. So no, you don't have to worry about anything like that. Really, we're less concerned with things like word count and just more concerned with, the content and the quality of the content. So you can give us a scholarly article if you're doing research, and we're also looking for practitioner-based articles or best practices. So just things that you're doing that are working, not working, if you're looking to collaborate, just I'm sure that my mind cannot fathom all of the great ideas that you all have for this Library Insights journal, but just some ideas to get your creativity going. So a wide range of topics. We have a list here, but of course, if there is something that we're not thinking about, don't let this list deter you. Again, this is a member-driven project, so the ideas, the thoughts, the trends that you're seeing, that's what's important to this journal. As far as manuscript preparation, we're just looking for something tidy that it will be easy for us to review and add into our, we're using Canva as the design product for the journal. So if you are using citations, we're just asking for Chicago style footnotes. Do your best with that. We're not grading you on your citation, so don't let that stress you out. Word documents are really the easiest thing for us. And there is a submission area on the Nephilim website, which I'll show you next. And all of our submissions, whether they're research or not, will go through the peer review process. And that's really just to make sure that, they're meeting a minimum standard for Nephilim. Nephilim's name is attached to this, so we want to make sure we're representing them in the best light that we can. And I don't know about you, but I love to have other people go behind me when I write stuff because sometimes we're a little too close to the project. So, we're not looking to, give you critical feedback about your writing. We're just going to help you make sure it's the best thing that you submit to us and that we publish for you. So the first deadline for submissions is January 6th at 5 p.m. And then we're hoping to get through the review process and let everyone know whether you're accepted for the journal issue by February 28th. And then we're hoping to push out the first issue in April of 2025. So we're very excited about that. And of course, there are many reasons why you should submit, but quite frankly, for those of you that are looking to add to your resume or your CV, this is a good opportunity to do that. So just getting your name out there. We talked a little bit about the image submission. So again, just high quality images. You can, if you're submitting an article, you can submit images that correspond with it that we could include. Or if you just have some kind of cool library image that you think would look great in the journal, send that to us as well. And just so you know, Nephilim does reserve the right to refuse an article just based on alignment, more or less. So just know that not everything is guaranteed to get into the journal, but don't let that scare you off. I think you'll see that we have a wide variety of topics that you can write about. So I think there's room for everyone to contribute. And then if you're on the Nephilim website, if you scroll down to quick links, there is a button for Library Insights, call for articles. And here's the call. And then if you click the call link within the call, you'll get to the submission page and you're just filling out the information. And then you can upload your files as well, including photos. So we tried to make the submission process as easy as possible. If you have any problems with that, reach out to Jenny. I think she'd be the best person to help you with actual submitting. And I think that's it. Lauren and James, did I miss anything important? No? All right, so that's all the blabbing that I intend to do. Now we're opening it up for questions, concerns, comments. This information session is really for you all. So if you want to unmute or put it in the chat, we'll be happy to answer any questions or comments, anything really. All right, Jenny, Brad, do you all have anything you want to add while people are thinking about their questions?
I guess I would just say maybe what's unique about this project is that it is um, you know based around the Nephilim membership. So everything in there, as far at this point at least, unless we decide to change it in the future, will be submitted by Nephilim members. So think about the Nephilim membership as you're thinking about topics to write about or include. And remember, we cover all of Northeast Florida, 24 counties, and a wide range of types of libraries. So we've got public, school, special libraries, academic libraries. So, and I say that just to say the floor is open for for all types of different articles with different types of audiences because our libraries are pretty diverse, and we want this to be for our members, but also the library profession at large as well. So I don't know if that was clear as mud, but basically just kind of think this is our primary audience, and in our submitters will all be from the Nephilim region, and so anything that's of interest to those of us in this region working in libraries is very welcome. And I want to say too that Brittany, this idea came from Brittany, and I want her to get credit for that. um, and she served as our academic libraries interest group facilitator for about 3 years, I think, at least 3 years.
Something like that.
And yeah,
I had
and
so much
so
fun. It's a blur.
she just kept going on and on. And the idea behind the interest groups is to bring our members together to share, to see what each other, what's going on in the other libraries, and to connect in a way that you don't normally get to when you're in your library with your staff. So I think that experience kind of planted this idea of, other ways to share knowledge. And then there were also, we had a session about improving your CV and things like that. And so questions were coming up about where do you find opportunities to publish and to get your feet wet with doing some of this stuff. So I think she, not to put words in her mouth, but I think she saw kind of a cross purpose there, sharing, but also giving the members some opportunities to do some of these things as well. So thank you, Brittany, because that
Yeah, no
totally
problem.
came from her, and she talked to me about it. And then our board and Brad, our director, were very enthusiastic about it. So we're really excited to see where it goes.
Yep. I mean, this just goes to illustrate that Nephilim is very member driven. So, I loved doing the academic interest group, and I love still participating. I've met so many really interesting people and learned so much. The things that I may not have learned at my home institution. So this just kind of expands what we're already doing with the interest groups, I think. It includes many more types of library staff. So I think it's exciting.
Yeah.
I think just to add on, I want to stress too, this is for like every type of library worker. And I know we've covered that, but as someone that's like, my background is not librarianship, but I still feel very passionately about libraries and working in libraries and promoting and marketing them. I've talked to my colleagues who are library assistants or in support services. It's for everyone. So even if you think like, oh, well, I'm not, I didn't study librarianship. We're looking for, programming, collection development, cataloging, anything. Promoting, marketing libraries. Yeah.
All right. Any questions? Oh, Tommy Wright, thank you. There's a comment. I love this opportunity you all have created. Now I just need to start writing. Absolutely. And I have written. I have a dissertation, and I know firsthand that is so scary, and writing can be really hard. And sometimes the hardest part is just getting started. So I am here as a resource. I'm sure that other editorial board members will agree. So if you just want to chat about an idea or the writing process or anything like that, I would love to help you with that. I'm absolutely here as a tool for you all. So please just consider that as well. All right. And if there are no questions, we can definitely give you 30 minutes of your day back. Any last words before we sign out? All right. Well, thanks everyone for coming. And Jenny, do you want to close us out?
Thank you for coming. Yeah. Just remember that libraryinsights@nefla.org email. If you forget that, you can email me and I'll forward it to whoever needs to see it, Jenny@neflin.org, and encourage your colleagues as well to submit if you know of somebody who would like to do that. And that's it. Thank you.
All right. Bye, everybody. Have a great day.